Master Jace, the name of your elixir is Gandalf said curiously from the side when he saw the preparation was finished. Extreme potion. Extreme potion? Gandalf frowned. It was obvious that he had never heard of this extreme potion before. In fact, although the ultimate potion is a general medicine, this general refers to levels 1 to 9, not ordinary, and the name extreme potion is also a unified name after the great development of spiritual medicine 3,000 years later. In today's era, these fourth-level extreme potions should be called heavenly spirit potions, which means they can allow spiritual masters to break through to the level of heavenly spirit masters. They are the top few among all fourth-order spiritual potions. Naturally, Gandalf had never heard of it. How many levels? Gandalf couldn't help but asked curiously again. Fourth level, Dowfu responded lightly, and then his eyes widened. Fourth level? Master Jace had previously spent millions of spiritual coins on rare materials to actually prepare a fourth-level elixir? God, this is too. Gandalf felt that his mind couldn't turn around. Materials such as starlight leaves and dragon's eye stones are slightly more common in the chaos territory outside the cloud swamp, but they are also quite expensive, and Mingli Jian is extremely rare even in the territory of chaos. If Santa Fe City was not located not far from the exit road of the territory of chaos, with the strength of the three major families in Santa Fe City, it would never be possible. It was possible to get it. I originally thought that Jason spent so many materials to prepare such an awesome elixir, but the fourth level made Gandalf almost vomit blood. The process of appraising the value of elixirs, especially the value of a bottle of excellent elixirs, is quite troublesome. When most people talk about an elixir they don't understand, the first thing they think of is its level, but in fact, what determines the value of an elixir is its efficacy. Diaz and others on the side were also dumbfounded. Although they did not know as much as Gandalf, the elixir master, they also knew that the higher the level of the elixir, the more valuable it was. Although there was only one 5-year-old Gandalf in the entire Santa Fe City, he is a low-level sect spiritual master, but as a family specializing in elixirs and materials in Santa Fe City, the King's family also has 2 fourth-level intermediate spiritual apothecaries in the family. Although they were surprised that Jason could prepare a fourth-level elixir at such an age, the materials Jason had spent before made their hearts bleed. In the end, millions of spiritual coins were exchanged for a bottle of fourth-level spiritual potion. What else could this be but a waste? But Gandalf on the side frowned, looking like he was thinking hard. Jason's attainments in elixirs had already been understood yesterday, and they should definitely not be at this level. So he raised his head and asked again, Master Jace, what is the effect of this ultimate potion? Don't disturb me if you stay aside. Jason waved his hand, and he was now in the best state to stop Gandalf from asking. Gandalf suddenly stopped talking, and Diaz and others who were about to ask questions also closed their mouths. Jason took a deep breath, and in front of everyone, he took out about 1/5 of the bright red solution from the potion bottle he had just prepared, and diluted it into a bottle of elixir. Suddenly, Jason seemed to have thought of something, and said to Nades beside him, Nades, I remember you should be a third-level senior spiritual master, right? How long have you been promoted to the third-level senior? Naders was stunned. He didn't understand why Jason asked this question. He thought for a moment and said, it has been nearly 3 years since he was promoted to the third level of advanced level. Jason nodded and put his right hand on Naders's. On his shoulder, he used his spiritual consciousness to catch Fu's mother and brother in his body, and then took out nearly 1/10 of the amount from the potion bottle on the table, diluting it into a bottle of spiritual potion. Drink it, and then try to make a breakthrough. Jason stuffed the spirit potion directly into the school. Then he drank the bottle of extreme potion diluted for himself in one gulp, and sat cross-legged directly in the experiment. In the room, he closed his eyes and meditated, no longer paying attention to the people present. Nades was stunned. He didn't understand why Jason suddenly asked about his spiritual power level and then asked him to take the spiritual potion to try to break through. Is it possible that this spiritual potion can help me break through to the 4th level Heavenly Spirit Master realm? Nades had a possibility in his mind, then smiled and shook his head, feeling a little ridiculous for his own whims. This elixir that can make people break through is one of the most important types of elixirs. The general formula is absolutely perfect. Only some truly powerful elixir masters can master it, and the preparation requirements are also extremely high. It is not something that a spiritual medicine master can just prepare casually. Although Naders was extremely confused, he did not dare to disobey Jason's instructions. He immediately drank the red elixir in one gulp, closed his eyes, and sat cross-legged on the ground to repair his hair. With this repair, he immediately felt something was wrong. The Nade's body has already reached the 3rd level of advanced peak level. In this year, he has tried countless breakthroughs, but every time they all ended in failure. The entrance to the 4th order meridian was as if it were made of steel. It was extremely solid. No matter how hard he used his spiritual power to attack, he could not break through the barrier. Although he has been cultivating his body and mind over the past year and his advanced spiritual power has become more and more concise, but his body is still not as strong as before. After the war, no matter how much he cultivated Song Ding in the future, his spiritual power seemed to have reached a limit, but it could no longer grow. But now, after taking the ultimate potion handed to him by Jason, he felt that he was experiencing the highest level of advanced spiritual power in his body, as if he had taken Chun Huang. The already was roaring continuously in the veins of his body, and the crazy power of the 3rd order spirit power was constantly impacting to higher points, supporting his 3 levels. There is a dull pain in the stair meridians. But at the same time, Nades felt that his whole body was full of power at this moment, and there was a feeling of crushing everything, and nothing in the world could stop him. Nades was suddenly extremely excited. He took a deep breath, and the violent spiritual power of his spiritual consciousness controlled the entrance of the 4th level barrier and charged towards the entrance of the 4th level barrier. Boom! The originally extremely solid barrier swayed under the impact, and a large number of cracks appeared on it. It seemed that the solid barrier that had been as solid as steel had turned into a piece at this moment. The rotten wooden boards looked vulnerable. Naders was overjoyed, and once again mobilized his body and rushed towards the 4th order barrier fiercely, and when Naders hit the 4th order barrier, he easily knocked it to pieces. Jason on the side was also shocked. However, unlike the situation with Naders, Jason's body was much more effective under the limited potion, but when it hit the barrier, it was like a giant wave hitting a dragon. Above the bridge, the bodies were scattered and retreating like a tide, but the 4th level barrier still stood there like a cliff. Not even a crack had appeared, as if it had been so crazy before. It seems that the movements of a certain person are of no use. However, after seeing this situation, Jason's heart not only did not feel sad at all, but instead felt a hint of ecstasy. In his perception, the previous 4th level barrier was shaking wildly. Although there was no crack at all, there was a slight shake at the moment of spiritual power impact. This shake, it's extremely small. If Jason hadn't attacked the 4th level heavenly spiritual master countless times in the past few days, he knew it very well. Moreover, as a spiritual medicine master, Jason's spiritual consciousness is extremely delicate and sensitive. For ordinary people, you may not even notice it. Jason, who discovered this situation, suppressed the joy in his heart and frantically mobilized his body, like a soldier under the attack charge, and kept frantically hitting the 4th order barrier. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know how long it took. When Jason felt that his meridians at the 4th level entrance were a little numb under the impact of spiritual power, the unbreakable 4th level barrier finally appeared. A slight gap. Jason didn't relax at all, and continued to mobilize his body once, twice, 10 times, 20 times. With Jason's unremitting efforts, the gap became smaller and smaller. It got bigger and bigger, and finally boom. The barrier at the entrance to the 4th order meridian finally collapsed and spread apart due to Jason's continuous efforts, turning into ruins. A large amount of third-level high-level spiritual power rushed over and entered the fourth-level meridians. It was constantly running inside. Every time it ran, the structure of Jason's body changed by 1 point. This change is not just an increase in the intensity of spiritual power, but a change in the smallest structure of the spiritual elements. The spirit element particles are still the spirit element particles, but when their structures change, it is as if they are carbon atoms, but changed from graphite to diamond, and their properties have changed qualitatively. Jason only felt that his mind was extremely clear and open-minded at this moment. Before, Jason only knew about the structural changes of the spiritual elements, but he did not know how exactly they changed. However, at this moment, the transformation between the spiritual elements seemed to be happening. It was clearly presented in Jason's mind, as if under a microscope, and he could observe it clearly. The transformed spiritual power did not circulate in the fourth-level meridians, but slowly penetrated into every cell of Jason's meridians: blood, bones, muscles, fascia, internal organs, and hair. And those cells are like being hungry for countless times, breathing non-stop, absorbing the power of spiritual energy crazily, expelling old things, absorbing new things, and expelling smog and brain toxins. Take off the hair and cut off the marrow. At this moment, Jason's body and equipment are getting stronger crazily, constantly increasing his strength. After Jason and Nades took the ultimate potion, Diaz and others stood quietly and waited. They were all very curious about the efficacy of the ultimate fourth-level elixir that Jason spent millions of spiritual coins on. Especially Master Gandalf, as a fifth-level low-level elixir master, not only did he not understand the process of Jason's preparation, but now he has never even heard of the name of the elixir prepared by Jason, and he has no idea of its efficacy. Understand, this made him feel a little aggrieved. Among the people present, Renaud was the only one who was waiting quietly by Jason's side, not paying much attention to the two of them. He was just running the spiritual power in his body, constantly absorbing the spiritual power between heaven and earth every moment. He is still practicing and has never slacked off even a little bit. Just when the three Gandalfs had focused their attention on Jason and Naders for a short time, an extremely strong spiritual power fluctuation suddenly appeared on Naders, who was sitting cross-legged there. In the middle, the fire spiritual elements in the entire room became active and continued to converge towards Nanity's body. This movement immediately attracted everyone's attention, including Renaud. This is Diaz's eyes were dull and he murmured, but for fear of disturbing Jason and Nades, he closed his mouth in the next moment, with a look in his eyes full of horror. Waves of quite powerful spiritual power fluctuations were continuously transmitted from Nada's body. At the same time, Nades, who had his eyes closed, hummed slightly, and dense beads of sweat seeped out from various parts of his body. When I came out, some black impurities and dirt could still be vaguely seen among the sweat beads. A faint stench suddenly wafted through the entire laboratory, but Gandalf and the others present seemed completely unaware of it. They all held their breath and looked at Nades in disbelief. The huge laboratory was quiet, not a single sound was made, and even Renaud stopped his practice. Clang! I don't know who touched some instrument in the laboratory, and the noise immediately woke everyone up from the shock. Oh my God! What did I see? Nades, is he advancing to the fourth level of Heavenly Spirit Master? Diaz and others looked at each other, and they all saw deep shock in each other's eyes. Master Gandalf's heart was instantly filled with turmoil. Gandalf is a fifth-level low-level spiritual master, and Tyson is a fifth-level high-level spiritual master. As for Diaz, he is a sixth-level low-level spiritual master. As for the situation that happened to Nades, as someone who has experienced it, they naturally understand it very clearly. Whether it was the powerful spiritual power fluctuations on Nade's body or the appearance of hair and marrow washing, it was clear that Nades had broken through to the realm of a fourth-level low-level heavenly spiritual master at this moment. What ultimate potion? This potion is obviously a fourth-grade high-grade Tianling potion. Gandalf was dumbfounded. Compared with an ordinary 4th level spiritual potion and the top grade heavenly spiritual potion among 4th order potions, there is simply a difference between heaven and earth. The reason why elixir masters have such a high status in the mainland is precisely because their elixirs can bring great help to spiritual masters. Among all elixirs, those that can save people's lives and those that can enhance people's strength is undoubtedly the most crazy one. Although this heavenly spirit potion is only a 4th level high-grade spiritual potion, its effect is to allow a 3rd level advanced spiritual master to cross the bottleneck and enter the realm of a 4th level heavenly spirit master when encountering a promotion bottleneck. Although such a powerful elixir is only the 4th level, compared with some excellent 5th level elixirs, it is not overly generous. This is also the reason why Jason's spiritual potion is so popular. The formulas of this type of elixir are usually top secret and will not be easily circulated. Moreover, the required materials and preparation are extremely difficult and cannot be prepared casually by ordinary people. At this time, no one dares to say that the extreme potion that Jason spent millions to prepare was wasted. Using millions of spiritual coins to exchange for a few heavenly spiritual masters is undoubtedly extremely worthwhile, especially in some the big family, in order to support the younger generations, will not be stingy in this regard. From a 3rd level high-level spiritual master to a 4th level low-level heavenly spiritual master, this is not only a matter of crossing the 1st level, but also allows a spiritual master to enter from a low-level professional to a mid-level professional, and also prevents a spiritual master from becoming too young. Time is stuck in the bottleneck for several years, and the most cherished time is wasted to lay a solid foundation for the future, so as not to fall behind too far at a young age. Diaz was confident that if the bottle of extreme potion prepared by Jason allowed him to operate, he could even obtain several times the materials consumed in preparing the extreme potion in the territory of chaos. In this world, there is always a shortage of fathers and family elders who hope that their children will become dragons. Some big families will not be stingy in the slightest when it comes to their children and grandchildren. Starlight leaves, Longan stones, dream glass stems. Gandalf's face flushed, remembering the ingredients that Jason had used in the previous preparation, hoping to gain something. In fact, he also knows that this is probably in vain. Spiritual medicine is an extremely precise subject, and a slight error will have completely different results. He only knows the order of these materials, but does not know their weight and processing. There is not much usefulness. Not to mention Jason's preparation process, which Gandalf couldn't understand at all before. In his heart, he has determined that Jason should be a master of elixirs whose attainments are far above his own. For such a young master of elixirs, Gandalf can't help but be a little stunned. I am afraid that even the 4 major empires on the mainland are what an amazing person. My dear, who is this Jace? Gandalf was filled with doubts. What makes Gandalf even more incomprehensible is that the spiritual energy fluctuations in Jason's body are clearly a 3rd level spiritual master, and the heavenly spiritual master who is now taking the ultimate potion to break through to the 4th level shows that he is a spiritual master. So how could Jason prepare the 4th level ultimate potion and the 5th level beast transformation potion from yesterday? All this completely subverted Gandalf's previous understanding. At this moment, Nades, who was sitting cross-legged there, suddenly opened his eyes. A gleam of light flashed across his eyes. He shook his strong hands, and a hint of joy suddenly appeared on his face. Emerge. Father, I've been promoted. Nades said happily, but what he saw was the angry eyes of his father and Diaz's computer access assistant. Before he could say anything else, an electric look shot from his back, and an icy chill instantly rose from the soles of his feet. Nades suddenly turned around, only to find that Renaud was looking at him with cold eyes, with a hint of warning in his eyes. Seeing Jason sitting cross-legged on the ground and continuing to practice, he knew he shouldn't disturb him, and a look of embarrassment suddenly appeared on his face. Suddenly boom! A huge spiritual power fluctuation suddenly impacted from the surface of Jason's body. This spiritual power fluctuation was like a wolf smoke, rising into the sky and towering into the sky, At the same time, the entire Kang's family mansion, all the spiritual elements in the world instantly became violent and swarmed towards Jason's body. This Diaz and the others' faces instantly revealed a look of horror. The changes and aura caused by Jason at this moment cannot be compared with that of Nades, who was promoted previously. This kind of power is even more majestic than when Diaz was promoted to the 6th level of low-level spiritual master. Huge. Even Renaud, who was standing beside him, had a somewhat uncertain face at the moment. Renaud knew very well about Jason's level. When could a 4th-level heavenly spirit master be able to cause a violent rage of spiritual elements within such a range? It's almost the same as when he was promoted to the 7th-level low-level emperor spiritual master. In the confused eyes of Renaud and others, Jason continued to absorb the spiritual elements swarming around him. After these spiritual elements entered his body and were converted into spiritual power, they were all instantly absorbed and devoured by the cells in Jason's body. A sticky black stain continued to slowly overflow from the surface of Jason's body, and as Jason continued to absorb the spiritual elements between heaven and earth, the black stain became more and more flowing. Soon, there was a thick layer formed on the surface of Jason's body. Promoting to the 4th-level heavenly spiritual master is the first time in the spiritual master's life that he is cleansing his hair and marrow. All the 4th-level spiritual power that is initially transformed will be absorbed by the spiritual master's body, increasing the physical strength of the spiritual master and injecting poison into his body. Some impurities are excreted from the body. However, according to the different physical strength of each person, the amount of 4th-level spiritual power that the body can absorb is also different, and the time for washing hair and marrow naturally also varies. The more spiritual energy the body absorbs and the more impurities are discharged, and the longer the time, the more thorough the body is cleansed and roughened. Everyone present was silent in the laboratory, waiting quietly for Jason to finish washing his hair and marrow. A quarter of an hour passed. Jason is still absorbing spiritual power, crazily. 2/4 of an hour passed. Jason was still absorbing spiritual power, and everyone continued to wait patiently. 3/4 of an hour passed. Jason's speed of absorbing spiritual power has not slowed down, and he is still expelling some impurities. Everyone's faces already have a look of surprise. Generally, like this Nades, a quarter of an hour of washing hair and marrow is enough. At normal times, some powerful spiritual masters can become super powerful after washing their hair and marrow for half an hour. As for those like Jason who can achieve 3/4 of an hour, they are basically rare. These people will all become famous spiritual masters in the end. For example, Renaud, the #1 spiritual master of the Kingdom of Orlando, was promoted to the 6th level of spiritual master at the age of 30. When he was promoted to the 4th level of heavenly spiritual master, he spent nearly 3/4 of an hour washing his hair and marrow. An hour passed. Jason still hadn't finished absorbing it, and the violent spiritual elements were still entering his body. Everyone looked at each other, and they could see each other's horror in their eyes. After washing his hair and cutting his marrow for an hour, he was definitely like a proud son of the emperor. There may not be even one person in the entire Chaos territory, but Jason's washing of his hair and marrow continued. An hour and a half passed. Jason is still absorbing, but the speed of absorption has slowed down. The black stains can no longer be discharged. What is discharged at this moment is some sweat-like viscous liquid, which washes away the black stains. Everyone was shocked and confused. People who washed their hair and cut their marrow for an hour and a half were basically unheard of in reality. Only in legends and historical records, one or two would appear in thousands of years, but Jason's washing of hair and marrow actually continued until 2 hours passed. Jason, who had been absorbing the spiritual energy around him, stopped absorbing the spiritual energy. The restless spiritual energy fluctuations gradually subsided, and Jason's eyes finally opened while he was sitting cross-legged. At that moment, Diaz and others didn't know how to describe their feelings. Be surprised? Horrified? Numbness? Still shocked? These were not enough to express their feelings at this moment. They just exhaled a long breath in their hearts, and then murmured wordlessly, "It's finally over." 2 hours, even in historical records, there has never been a genius who was promoted to the 4th level of the Heavenly Spirit Master and spent 2 hours purging his hair and marrow. After 2 hours of hard work, how high will the results be in the future? No one can answer it. However, no one present knew that Jason had already had his hair and marrow washed away once when he was promoted to the 1st level spiritual disciple. This time, it was actually the 2nd time he had to wash his hair and marrow. Normal people usually spend their entire lives. This is only the 4th level of washing hair and marrow. Feeling his extremely transparent body and refreshing mind, Jason looked at Renaud beside him, and a smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. At this moment, Jason felt extremely good in his mind. It was as if a person who was extremely tired, weak and confused, woke up and took a hot bath after getting enough rest. That refreshing feeling. Every hair on the body relaxed and felt extremely relaxed and refreshed. In Jason's spiritual consciousness, every inch of his body is extremely clear and transparent. Every part of his body, such as muscles and bones, has become extremely strong and tight after this washing and marrow removal, giving people an unbreakable feeling. What excites Jason even more is that at this moment, he feels that his whole body is full of strength, and he has a kind of heroic spirit that can penetrate the sky with one punch. "Master, you Master Jace." Seeing Jason open his eyes, Dias, Gandalf and others beside him also said happily. Nades, on the other hand, looked at Jason with extremely grateful and admiring eyes. His eyes looked at Jason with an extremely excited expression. Previously, he finally passed the level that he had never overcome no matter how hard he tried in the past few years, and entered the realm of a 4th level low-level celestial spirit master. All of this was entirely due to Jason's bottle of ultimate potion. For Jason, who not only saved his life, but also allowed him to successfully become an elixir master, Nades was filled with gratitude from the bottom of his heart to Jason. "Master Jace, if you want to find the cloud mist spirit fruit in the territory of chaos, it is undoubtedly the fastest way to trade powerful spiritual potions such as extreme potion in the trading center of the City of Chaos," Gandalf said from the side. Vocal channel. Trading this ultimate potion in the Chaos City Trading Center? Jason pondered. Yes, the trading center of the City of Chaos is the place that attracts the most attention in the entire territory of chaos. As long as the elixir you take out, Master Jace, is shocking enough to impress the big families of the territory of chaos, as long as you are here, if a family in the territory of chaos really has the cloud spirit fruit, there is enough hope. But Master Gandalf's face was surprisingly solemn. Seeing Jason looking at him intently, he said in a deep voice, "This method also has a very important big disadvantage." Master Gandalf saw that Jason's expression did not change at all when he heard this sentence. He smiled and continued, "Elixirs like the extreme potion are too powerful. Such potions are enough to make the big family is excited. If it is released, it will undoubtedly be a big bomb in the territory of chaos. I'm afraid it will cause quite a stir. The more sensational it is, the greater the trouble will be," Gandalf said solemnly, and Jason could hear it. He chewed Gandalf's words carefully and mentally. In fact, before coming to the territory of chaos, Jason had already thought about how he could get the cloud mist spirit fruit in the territory of chaos. In Jason's consideration, there were undoubtedly 3 ways. One was to buy it directly with spirit coins. This is extremely unlikely. Although natural and exotic fruits like the cloud mist spirit fruit have little effect when taken directly, after being processed by a slightly powerful elixir master, although it may not be possible to prepare a regeneration potion as powerful as the regeneration potion that restored Renaud's broken arm, the preparation it is easy to come up with some magical potions that can quickly restore people's injuries. The second method is to seize it by force. As long as you know which force owns the cloud spirit fruit, with the strength of Renaud's 7th level low-level imperial spiritual master, there is still a certain hope that you can seize it after sneaking in quietly. In the territory of chaos, this kind of treasure grabbing is really a common thing. It's just that if a small family secretly collects the cloud mist spirit fruit, it can be easily obtained. If it is a behemoth like the three major families in the territory of chaos, even Renault is also in danger. Among these families, but they all have imperial spiritual masters in charge. The third way is for Jason to exchange powerful elixirs. This method is the most reliable. Just like Gandalf said, as long as there are enough elixirs to impress others, if there is really clouds in this realm of chaos, as for the spiritual fruit, Jason didn't believe he wouldn't be able to exchange it. It's just that although Jason has extraordinary attainments in elixirs now, he doesn't have many materials on his body. The so-called clever woman can't make a meal without rice. Although Jason can also prepare excellent elixirs with some ordinary materials, but if he wants preparing a magical elixir that can impress the opponent in exchange for the cloud mist spirit fruit requires some rare materials. At the beginning, Jason still had a headache, but now after seeing that Santa Fe, a medium-sized city in the territory of chaos, had so many rare materials, Jason had already made up his mind to consider this third item first. There is a way. Master Jace, seeing the intentional movement on Jason's face, Gandalf spoke with great solemnity, "You have to know that the situation in this territory of chaos is different from other places on the mainland. A master of elixirs is here. I'm afraid there's no one who doesn't want the territory of chaos. I'm just making a suggestion here. If the master really wants to do this, although the master has the Kongsi family to block him, for those who are interested, it will only be a matter of time before they find you." Regarding matters, the leader of the chaos territory respects the strong and does not show any dignity. It may use some chips to attract the master at first, but as a master, it is natural that he will not be recruited by them, so the master must pay attention. In order to achieve their goals, these guys will use any means. They are ruthless and difficult to deal with. Master must prepare in advance. Although the senior next to Master has extraordinary strength, it is still easy for him to do it alone. There will be mistakes, after all, there are many powerful people in this realm of chaos. Gandalf looked solemn. Jason thought in his mind that he could understand what Gandalf said. Ordinary elixir masters are usually not willing to stay in chaotic areas like the territory of chaos. For elixir masters, a comfortable research environment is a very important thing. A life of wandering and fear is definitely not what they want. Need. Just like this Gandalf, if Jason and Renault hadn't happened to be here, otherwise he would have been invited back by the Nadax family yesterday. Therefore, in this chaotic territory, the number of spiritual pharmacists must be much rarer compared to other parts of the mainland. However, this chaotic territory has been fighting for years, and battles occur from time to time. However, the demand for spiritual pharmacists is higher than that in other parts of the mainland. On the contrary, it is more urgent. The combination of these two makes the elixir master extremely popular in the territory of chaos, but it is also more dangerous. Although Jason has Renault beside him, Renault is only a 7th-level low-level imperial spiritualist after all. He also broke an arm and his combat effectiveness has been weakened a lot. There are also some 7th-order imperial spiritualists in this chaotic territory. Jason is here. If the mastery of the elixir is exposed, it will not be as safe as in the northwest countries. I am afraid that a lot of strong men will come to invite Jason to join their family. It will be too soft at first, but it will definitely happen next. Come hard. However, Jason would not be defeated by this difficulty. He glanced at his father, Renault, and made up his mind. Now that he had made up his mind, Jason felt settled. He was full of confidence in his elixir. As for the materials, he was not worried that he would not be able to find them in the chaotic territory outside the cloud swamp. The only worry in his heart was that no one in the chaos territory owned the cloud mist spirit fruit. If this was the case, he and his father Renault would have to enter the depths of the cloud mist swamp. In the next few days, Jason and Renault were not in a hurry to set off. He had just broken through to the 4th level low-level heavenly spirit master and needed some time to master the spiritual power in his body. Moreover, due to the transformation of his body during the promotion, he had to wash his hair. After cutting the marrow, all the spiritual power in Jason's body was exhausted, and he needed to practice and condense it again. While Jason continued to adjust to the skyrocketing spiritual power in his body, the Khan's family also quickly began to control the entire Santa Fe City, fully taking over the entire Santa Fe City industry, and killing some resistors. For these, the Khan's family was naturally familiar with the matter. It only took 2 days to completely control the entire city of Santa Fe. Half a month later, Jason and Renault set out on their way to the City of Chaos in the center of the territory of Chaos. This time, in addition to the two of them, Master Gandalf and Patriarch Tyson also followed. In fact, when the king's family went with them, Patriarch Tyson and Elder Diaz even had a dispute. Both wanted to follow Jason to the City of Chaos, and even Nade's Jason expressed his desire to go together, which immediately left Jason speechless. Because the king's family had just taken control of Santa Fe City, and it was not stable after all. They needed a master to take charge, so Diaz had to stay. As for Nade's, Jason rejected him outright. He went to the City of Chaos, and it's not just for sightseeing. Even with Nade's strength, he would be a complete liability there. Along the way, Jason kept practicing whenever he was not in a hurry to rest. At the beginning, as mentioned in the spiritual god art, when entering the 4th level, the cultivator will undergo a qualitative change. Jason, it was still unclear, but as his practice time increased, he discovered something that shocked him extremely. As he continued to use the 4th level low-level spiritual power in his body, his strange black power, which had been consumed to only a trace due to repairing the injured body, actually increased slightly. Although this increase was extremely subtle, there was only a slight change in the sky. If you didn't observe it carefully, it would be almost imperceptible, but it still surprised Jason. This weird power once helped Jason advance, and even saved Jason's life several times. It has always been what Jason wanted to understand most after his rebirth. In Jason's heart, this weird power has nothing to do with his trust. The bloodline of the De family has an inevitable relationship, but at this moment, the connection between the spiritual god art and this strange power shocked Jason. He found the spiritual god art in an ancient ruins, and he also found the formula for the Vulcan liquid in that ruin. After Jason failed to prepare the Vulcan liquid, he was unexpectedly reborn in this possession. A descendant of the Todd family's strong bloodline. This series of coincidences gave Jason a trace of doubt, but he soon put it down, because after half a month of traveling, the City of Chaos, located in the center of the territory of Chaos, finally appeared in front of Jason and his group. However, although this trace of doubt only flashed through Jason's heart now and did not attract much attention from him, it has left a seed in Jason's heart. It may disappear over time, but it is also very important. Maybe at some point, it will take root quickly. I really can't do it anymore. I came back too late today and the plot is very stuck. I haven't finished it until now. There is only this chapter today. The City of Chaos has arrived. I will sort out the next plot. There will be 3 chapters tomorrow. Chapter added, Jason and others traveled south for more than 10 days, crossing several rivers across the territory of Chaos, climbing over countless mountains, and marching in the territory of Chaos. After thousands of miles, they finally approached the Chaos City, the center of the Chaos territory. The City of Chaos is the absolute center of the territory of Chaos. It does not belong to any one family. It is the center of interests of all forces in this chaotic land. It was jointly established by countless forces, large and small, in the territory of Chaos. The 3 territories of Chaos. The management of the big family is a holy place in the hearts of the people in the territory of Chaos. The sun is scorching hot in August. The sun in the sky is scorching the earth like a furnace. The air is humid and sultry. The grass on the roadside has drooped leaves and is swaying feebly in the wind. The territory of chaos was extremely chaotic. As Jason and others walked along the way, they encountered countless fights, including between adventurers, spiritual masters, families, and even a conflagration between two major forces. There is a general war between countries, with soldiers standing in large numbers and the sounds of fighting and roaring rising to the sky. Often when encountering these, Jason and others would avoid them to avoid getting into unnecessary trouble. However, even though the territory of chaos is extremely chaotic, the City of Chaos, which is the center of the territory of chaos, is actually the calmest place in the entire territory of chaos. No matter how daring some thieves are, they would not dare to come to this City of Chaos to run rampant, so the chaos all major forces in the territory have troops stationed in this city. As soon as Jason and others approached the City of Chaos, they felt that the spiritual power in the city was stronger than in the rest of the territory of chaos. Gandalf told Jason that when this chaotic city was first established, a powerful spiritual master found a spiritual vein. This spiritual vein connected to the cloud swamp and affected its regional environment. The City of Chaos is extremely majestic. From a distance, it looks like a giant beast lying here, endless. The city walls are simple and old, with a dark surface, as if they were cast from molten iron, shining with a metallic luster. The magnificent city gate tower is 100 meters high, majestic and extremely majestic. Looking from a distance, such a large ancient city gives people a sense of suffocating oppression and a strong atmosphere of chilling. Neither Colton, the royal city of the Kingdom of Orlando, nor Carmela, the royal city of the Eastern Kingdom, can compare with this City of Chaos. In terms of area alone, the City of Chaos is several times larger than the royal cities of those kingdoms. Guarding the city gate were heavily armed spiritual masters, all of whom had the cultivation of third-level spiritual masters. Their captain was even a fourth-level heavenly spiritual master, with such murderous intent and sharp eyes that Jason could not help but smack his lips. After entering this chaotic city, the streets in the city are extremely prosperous. Most of the people walking are spiritual masters. They carry weapons on their backs and wear helmets and armor. Their eyes are menacing. When they look at each other, they are filled with evil spirits. These people, they all come from all over the territory of chaos, and no one is the master of peace. If they were in other cities in the territory of chaos, these people would usually get into a fight if they disagreed, with blood splattering every step of the way, but here, no one dared to do it openly on the street. This city is jointly supervised by all the forces in the territory of chaos. If the rules here are broken, no matter who he is, it will be extremely difficult to survive in the entire territory of chaos. These big forces cherish the rules very much. Even if their own feathers have a background in conflicts with others, they will not openly attack on the street in broad daylight. At another time or another place, they have dozens of ways to kill others, and they will not care about it for a moment. As soon as he entered the city gate, Tyson led Jason towards the Kang's family's residence. As one of the three major families in Santa Fe City, the Kongsi family also has a station in this chaotic city, which is specially used to inquire about news about the chaotic territory for the family. A group of patrolling spiritual masters walked past Jason and others. These spiritual masters who could patrol the City of Chaos all had third-level strength. These people were all the three most powerful people from the territory of chaos. The big families patrol different urban areas. Huh? It's Patriarch Tyson of the Kongsi family, and the one-armed man who killed the Patriarch and the third elder. After seeing Jason and others, one of the patrolling spiritual masters couldn't help but be startled. Then he hurriedly turned his face away, pretending to observe the pedestrians on the other side of the street, but there was a trace of deep horror in his eyes. If Tyson saw it, he would be able to recognize that this person was one of the people sent by the Dax family to attack his family. However, after Renault killed the Marga Patriarch and the third elder Obama, this group of people all came crashing down. Although Tyson and his men chased and killed most of them, some Dax members still escaped from Santa Fe City, and this person was one of them. Fortunately, they didn't recognize me. After Jason and the others walked away, the spiritual master turned his head again, and his pounding heart calmed down. Clan Patriarch Tyson of the Kang's family can't stay in Santa Fe City. Why are they going to this chaotic city? His eyes flickered with a hint of doubt. No, you have to tell Chris about this. Leave it to the young master. Captain Cato. He immediately stepped forward and spoke to the leader, a tall man with a beard. Skinny man, what's the matter? The big man turned his head and said in a low voice. Captain Cato, this morning, Master Christo asked me to come to his place at this hour, so I want to go back first, but I don't know Captain Cato, the thin man spoke carefully. In the patrol team, Cato, a descendant of the Pear family, is his commander. The rules of the patrol team are quite strict. If a member leaves without the permission of the captain during the patrol, he will be severely punished. Christo? Cato frowned deeply, with a hint of displeasure in his expression. Then he glanced at the thin man who was waiting for his news, and snorted coldly, Go ahead, but it won't be the same next time. Thank you, Captain Cato, thank you, Captain Cato. The thin man nodded repeatedly, said hello to his teammates, and ran quickly towards the Perret family's mansion. Humph, Master Christo, he is just an outsider who was lucky enough to join the clan, and he dares to call himself a young master. Cato snorted coldly in his heart, for a foreigner like Christo has a higher status in the family than him. It was still high, which made him extremely unhappy. Go, keep your eyes open for me. If you find anyone misbehaving in the City of Chaos, he will wait until I kill him. The big man yelled and led the team members to continue patrolling. You think Master Christo is scared, right? I haven't seen him do anything these days. Deep in the courtyard of a large luxurious mansion in the City of Chaos, several spiritual masters were in the courtyard. Small talk. Yes, our Dax family has been exterminated, but Master Christo seems to be nothing. I really don't understand. A big man with scars on his face shook his head repeatedly. What do you think happened to Master Christo? Although he has joined the Perret family, after all, he was once a child of our Dax family. The third elder Obama is his biological father. Now our Dax family it's like this, and he still doesn't care. Another big man couldn't help complaining. These people were all members of the Dax family who escaped from Santa Fe that day. With no way out, they all came to the City of Chaos to seek refuge with Christo. After Master Christo heard what they said about the Dax family being destroyed by the Kang's family, he just arranged for them to stay in the City of Chaos without doing anything, which made them feel very upset. Accurate. At this moment, a rush of footsteps sounded outside the courtyard. Skinny man, why are you back? Aren't you on patrol today? If you dare to run out privately and violate the rules of the Per family, be careful that Master Christo won't be able to protect you. Where is the master? He hurried back. The thin man was breathing heavily, not caring to talk to them, and spoke anxiously. Mendel, what do you want from me? A somewhat feminine voice sounded from behind everyone, and a young man in his 20s with blonde hair and blue eyes appeared at the door. Master Christo. Everyone present stood up quickly and spoke respectfully. Young master, the thin man Mendel said, when I was patrolling on the street just now, I saw Patriarch Tyson and Master Gandalf of the Kang's family, as well as the one who killed Patriarch Margar and the third elder Obama. The one-armed man and the boy are also here. What, thin man, are you sure you read it correctly? The faces of everyone present suddenly changed color, and they roared angrily, how dare these two guys, Tyson and Gandalf, come to the City of Chaos, I have to take their lives. And that one-armed man, speaking of Renault, everyone's tone suddenly trembled, their voices also weakened, and there was a hint of fear in their eyes. Renault, that powerful image, had already planted the seeds of fear in their hearts. They all looked at Master Christo at the door with expectant eyes. Now only the young master can avenge the patriarch and the others. Oh, I understand, Mendel, do you have anything else to do? Christo's expression was extremely dull and he spoke indifferently. Master, everyone present was stunned. Christo's plain expression and tone made them unbelievable. If you have nothing to do, just work hard for me. If you have nothing to do, just practice for me. Let's stay in the yard and chat. What do you think? Christo said indifferently, turned around and walked towards the house. Master, this Mendel and others looked at Christo blankly, as if they were looking at a complete stranger. And Christo turned his head with a cold look in his eyes. None of you are allowed to cause trouble for me in the city of chaos. If something happens, don't blame me for not warning you in advance and you committed chaos. According to the rules of this city, no one can protect you. Mendel and others looked at Christo's back disappearing into the room, their eyes full of disappointment and speechless. When did the young master become like this? The third elder Obama is his biological father. Lord Israel was his old brother, but now the enemy who killed his father is at the door. But this Master Christo, they all have a trace of disbelief in their hearts. Master, he changed. He changed after joining the Perret family and became a lackey of the Perret family. Christo walked all the way inward to his room. He closed the door hard, and then tears instantly blurred his vision. Father, he choked in his mouth, and then his eyes showed an extremely angry ferocity. His originally handsome and fair face was now as ferocious as a devil. The king's family, he clenched his fists, his expression crazy, he gritted his teeth and said, I want you to die, I want all of you to suffer, one-armed man, no matter who you are, I will let you taste my Christo's methods, I will cut you into pieces. He shouted angrily, with a ferocious look on his face, like a madman. If anyone in the Perret family saw it, no one would believe that Chris, who has always been extremely low-key and humble in the family, would Tua actually has such a side. However, after a moment, Christo's face returned to calm, and he wiped away his tears, as if nothing had happened before. Christo knew that the reason why he was valued by the Per family was because of his talent in elixir science. Christo, who was only 29 years old, was already a 4th-level senior elixir master. And he was promoted last year. With his progress, he can definitely become a 5th-level elixir master within the next 2 years. As long as he is trained by a big family, it is not unreasonable that he can even reach the 6th-level elixir master in this life. Possible. But Christo knew clearly in his heart that no matter how talented he was or how great his achievements might be in the future, he was only a 4th-level senior elixir master after all. From Mendel and others, Christo was able to analyze that the one-armed man who killed his father was most likely a peak 6th-level senior spiritual master. Although the Perret family valued him, it was absolutely impossible because of him. The request was to destroy the Kongsi family that controlled a city in the territory of chaos, not to mention that family also had a 6th-level senior spiritual master and a 5th-level low-level elixir master. Although with the strength of the Perret family, it would be easy to destroy the Kang's family and the one-armed man, but they would definitely not do it for a foreigner of their own who would touch the unspoken rules of the realm of chaos and cause panic among all the forces. He needs to keep a low profile, but he may not be able to do anything now. He turned around, left the house, and walked towards another part of the mansion. The Kang's family's residence in the city of chaos is located in the east of the city. It is an extremely ordinary mansion. The entire mansion has only 3 courtyards, occupying an area of the land area is not very large. After seeing the appearance of Patriarch Tyson, the few members of the Kang's family who stayed at the station suddenly showed expressions of extreme surprise, and then welcomed everyone into the mansion. Jason and Renault naturally occupied one courtyard, while Tyson and Gandalf occupied the same courtyard. As for the remaining people in the station, they shared the same courtyard. Although the Kongsi family's mansion is not large, the landscape is quite elegant. Whether it is the yard, rockery, pavilion, or pond, it gives people a small and unique feeling. After settling in, Jason saw that it was still early and did not want to waste time. He immediately walked towards the trading center of Chaos City under the leadership of Tyson. The trading center of the City of Chaos is the most luxurious place in the entire City of Chaos, and it is also the most crowded place. The bustling crowds and the busy traffic give people a feeling of congestion. Please show your identity documents. At the entrance of the trading center, two guards with cold expressions stopped Jason and his party. Renault's cold eyes stared at the two of them, and an evil aura rose up from him. The implicit aura made the two guards feel shuddered and their hearts changed slightly. But they still stopped Jason and the others at the door. It wasn't until Tyson took out the identity certificate representing the Kang's family from his body that everyone was let out. This is a spiritual power card that stores special information. It represents the local forces of the territory of chaos. Each level is different, and the privileges enjoyed in the territory of chaos are also different. There are 5 levels in total. The image level refers to the 3 major families of the chaos territory. The asterisk level refers to those super powerful forces with imperial spiritual masters, or the Grand Dukes who control several large cities. The B level refers to the leaders of some large or medium-sized cities, and the C level Class D is an ordinary family in a city, and Class D is an ordinary family in some cities. Other forces, such as some adventure groups, also have the qualifications to enter the trading center based on their strength. The level of the Kongsi family is C level, but as long as the information that the Kong's family completely controls Santa Fe City is verified by the City of Chaos, the identity certificate can be promoted to B level. The entire trading center is extremely large. According to Jason's visual inspection, the trading center covers an area comparable to the Palace of the Kingdom of Orlando. It is divided into countless areas, including auctions, ordinary consignments, elixir laboratories, and spiritual master exchanges. Center, and many other areas. In addition to trading, the trading center is also the distribution center for news about the entire chaos territory. Which family's power has been annexed, which city's leader has changed hands, which adventure group has been wiped out in the Cloud Swamp, and which 2 cities have changed. There was a war, another master appeared in which family, and all the miscellaneous information was gathered here and circulated with each other. As soon as Jason and others entered, the first thing they saw was a large spiritual power screen, on which information about some items was densely scrolled. The most common ones were materials, and then weapons, etc. As for elixirs, they were extremely rare. This is completely opposite to the auction houses and trading floors in other places on the mainland. The territory of chaos is located on the edge of the Cloud Swamp. It has the most materials, and there are countless battles in the territory of chaos every day. It consumes more elixirs than other places on the mainland. However, the number of elixirs is higher than that of other places on the mainland. There are not many places, so this is the situation. The elixir masters in the territory of chaos are basically recruited by various forces to provide them with elixirs. Very few of them are sold in the world. The elixir masters who have not joined any force are undoubtedly the most dangerous in the territory of chaos. Group. If it were not for the fact that the Curie family, one of the 3 major families in the territory of chaos, is a family of elixirs that have cultivated a large number of elixir masters and sell large quantities of elixirs every day, I am afraid that the demand for elixirs in the territory of chaos would have reached an extremely terrifying situation. But despite this, there are many forces stationed here in the trading center. Once they find a magical potion, as long as it is not a magical potion with extremely weak effects and the price is reasonable, they will buy it immediately, often causing a bottle of magical potion to just disappear. It would be taken down within a few minutes of putting it up. After Jason came in, he was not in a hurry to consign the ultimate potion. Instead, he came to the service desk and asked the staff if there was any news about the Cloud Mist spirit fruit. The result was not beyond Jason's expectation. It was impossible for a natural treasure like Yunwa Lingua to appear in such a highly liquid trading center. Vodka is a descendant of the Bella family, one of the three major families in the territory of chaos. He has a pair of triangular eyes, a big aquiline nose, and a mustache with 4 eyebrows. He is one of the managers of the Bella family in the trading center, but he is said to be a manager, but in fact there is not much he can manage. At 35 years old, he is only a third-level intermediate spiritual master. If he were in an ordinary small family, his strength might be acceptable. However, in the Bella family, one of the three major families in the territory of chaos, as a side branch, as a young man, he basically has no hope of getting ahead in his life. What Vodka likes to do most every day is to sit quietly in front of the big screen in the trading center and watch the fleeting item information on the big screen. He is also a reseller in his spare time. The meaning of reselling is to buy some items whose price does not fully reach the value of the item itself, and then sell it at a higher price. It is not free for an item to appear on this big screen. Instead, it needs to pay a certain fee to the trading center. Being engaged in this industry for a long time makes Vodka very good at capturing the people who are willing to spend money to advertise on the big screen. Psychologically, he can analyze which items the owners are eager to sell and which items have improper origins. His vision is extremely vicious. Based on his own analysis, he can basically tell at a glance how profitable a certain item is. There are a few items worthy of his attention today that he can consider purchasing. Just when he was preparing to snap up these items as quickly as possible, suddenly, the dense item information floating on the big screen suddenly flashed, and all the item information disappeared. Only an item information appeared on the screen. King of Standards? Vodka's expression was stunned. This kind of listing-style item information is called King of Standards in the trading center. It means that only one item's information is marked on the entire big screen. The duration is only 10 minutes, but the price required to release such a standard king is 500,000 spirit coins. Yes, you read that right, 10 minutes costs 500,000 spirit coins. But such an eye-catching 10 minutes can let everyone in the entire trading center know the information about this item. Generally, items that dare to be released as Biao Wang are extremely rare treasures, and they are real treasures. After all, 500,000 spirit coins is not a small number. Vodka's heart skipped a beat, and he immediately focused on the information that appeared on the big screen. 4th level high-grade spiritual potion, Tianling potion. Vodka's expression was stunned, and he stared at the name of the item and was stunned. After a few seconds, he rubbed his eyes to make sure he wasn't dazzled. I read that right. It was really a spiritual potion, but what surprised him was not that it was precious, but that its level was too low. Yes, although the territory of chaos lacks elixir masters, 4th level high-grade elixirs are considered good things in the territory of chaos, but they are definitely not rare. As a descendant of the Bella family, the three major families in the chaos territory, Vodka naturally has very high standards. Even if this 4th level elixir is the best, it usually only costs millions of spirit coins when put up for auction, but this consignor actually directly spending 500,000 spirit coins to become the second bidder is extremely unreasonable for anyone. He turned his attention to the note under the spiritual potion. The 4th level high-grade spiritual potion, the heavenly spirit potion, is used when the spiritual master is at the bottleneck of the 3rd level high-level spiritual master. It has a certain probability to help the spiritual master break through to the 4th level low-level heavenly spiritual master. A friendly reminder, the more abundant the 3rd level advanced spiritual power in the body, the greater the success rate of breakthrough. The higher the peak, the higher the breakthrough rate of a 3rd level advanced spiritual master, up to 80%. If the spiritual power in the meridians in the body is insufficient, if you take it rashly when you have enough, there is basically no possibility of breakthrough. It helps the 3rd level high-level spiritual master to advance to the 4th level low-level heavenly spiritual master. The effect is consistent with the level of the 4th level high-grade spiritual master. For a big family, there is one more 4th level spiritual master in the family. Low-level heavenly spirit masters have no impact on the overall strength of the family. Even some small families will not care about a fourth-level low-level heavenly spirit master. Such strength is too much in the entire chaos territory. However, Vodka's expression was extremely excited, and his whole body was trembling slightly, unaware that his clenched fists were turning white. His eyes fell on the crowd around him. Many people looked up at the information on the big screen and talked about it. Most of them frowned, obviously not understanding that such a bottle could only contain the fourth-level spirit. The consignor actually spends money on the potion to become the best bidder. The expressions on these people's faces made Vodka extremely ecstatic, but he did not rush to the consignment office immediately. Instead, he calmed down and watched the consignment content carefully. A line of small red words was at the bottom of the description of the item. Vodka couldn't help but frown. Small red words like this were usually the client's special requirements for the buyer of the item. If there were requirements, it would be more troublesome. This was Vodka's idea. The person issuing this commission should be the maker of this heavenly elixir, an elixir master. His request is very simple. Rare materials and unknown materials, the rarer the better. However, the following condition made Vodka so depressed that he almost vomited blood. All bidders can submit the materials they own to the trading center. 1 day later, the consignor will determine and complete the transaction with one of them based on the materials submitted by everyone. Vodka naturally does not have to worry about the materials he submits being known to some people. The trading method of the Chaos Territory Trading Center is extremely mature. Sellers can remain anonymous and hide behind the scenes, and buyers can do the same. No one will know what everyone submits. Even the seller himself can only see the list of materials, but not the name of the buyer who submitted the list. However, the other party's vague transaction content has brought some uncertainty to the success of the transaction. What are rare materials? How rare are they considered to be truly rare materials? Which grade of rare materials should be exchanged to impress the seller? This is something everyone who wants to auction this heavenly elixir needs to consider. The 10-minute advertising time quickly disappeared, but the atmosphere in the entire trading hall was a bit wrong. The consignment of the 4th-level high-grade Tianling potion and the special request entered everyone in the trading center at an extremely fast speed. In one's ear. The entire trading center is boiling. I think this consignor is crazy. He made a bid for 500,000 spirit coins, but in the end he only sold a 4th-grade high-grade Tianling potion. He is really full. Yes, if this heavenly elixir was put up for auction, it would cost only 2 to 3 million spirit coins at most, but the consignor directly used 500,000 to make a bid, so he wouldn't even be able to recover the cost by then. You didn't. Have you seen people only exchange rare materials? Hee, but I don't think anyone is so stupid as to exchange truly rare materials for him. Don't wait until tomorrow when the materials some people bring out are only worth hundreds of thousands of spiritual coins. That's terrible, it's funny. Materials worth hundreds of thousands of spirit coins? That's enough to look up to him, a 4th-level low-level heavenly spiritual master. Humph, our family has a lot of them. Which family wants to have one more 4th-level low-level heavenly spiritual master? Take out the truly rare materials? I think the consignor is dreaming. Everyone didn't understand that the consignor spent 500,000 yuan on the second bid for this 4th-level Tianling potion, and some even said this consignor is so whimsical that he is planning to see the consignor's jokes tomorrow. While the crowd was talking, Vodka seemed to have gone crazy and rushed towards the Bella family's mansion like crazy. He hurriedly walked through several streets, and then rushed into an extremely luxurious large mansion under the surprised eyes of the 2 guards at the door. He rushed to a courtyard in the mansion as quickly as possible. At this moment, the blood all over his body was about to boil. Master Andrew, he shouted loudly. Vodka, I'm here, what are you doing in such a hurry? In the pavilion on the pond in the yard, a young man in his 20s, a practitioner with his eyes closed, frowned in displeasure after being disturbed by Vodka. "Master Andrew." Vodka gasped heavily, running so fast that he, a third-level intermediate spiritual master, was extremely out of breath, and sweat quickly soaked the clothes on his back. "Drink some water before we talk." Andrew frowned and said. Vodka drank a cup of tea on the stone table in the yard in one gulp, and after taking a moment, he said, "Master Andrew, earlier a bottle of elixir appeared in the trading center. It is a 4th-level high-grade heavenly elixir." "Elixir 4th-grade high-grade elixir?" Although Andrew was puzzled that this Vodka would actually make a fuss over a bottle of 4th-grade high-grade elixir, but knowing that there was more to come, he did not ask in a hurry. Sure enough, Vodka took a breath and continued, "The effect of the 4th-level high-grade heavenly spirit potion is to have a certain probability of promoting a 3rd-level high-level spiritual master to a 4th-level low-level spiritual master. If it is a peak 3rd-level high-level spiritual master, if it is taken, as long as the meridians in the body are full of spiritual energy, the probability of breakthrough can reach up to 80%. "What?" Andrew, who was sitting there calmly and expressionlessly at first, suddenly became furious this time. He stood up, his expression full of shock. "Are you telling the truth? Can a 3rd-level advanced spiritual master be promoted to a 4th-level heavenly spiritual master? Did you take a picture of it?" Andrew's face was full of excitement. He suddenly rushed from the pavilion to Vodka, staring at Vodka with his eyes. No, Vodka said. "What? It wasn't taken. What did you do? Why wasn't it taken?" "It's really—" Andrew's face instantly became extremely gloomy, giving people a feeling that a storm was about to come. "No, it's not," Vodka said hurriedly. "Master, it's not that I didn't take the photo, but the consignor only accepts rare materials in exchange, and the details will not be determined until tomorrow based on the materials provided by the buyer." "Who are you trading with?" "So that's it, rare materials?" Andrew's expression softened, and then his brows furrowed deeply again. A moment later, "Vodka, please quickly bring over my piece of phoenix jade, as well as the blood spirit crystal that my uncle gave me last time." Vodka's expression was therapeutic. The phoenix jade and the blood spirit crystal are extremely precious materials. The price on the market is 5 million spiritual coins, and they are still expensive but not marketable. But according to the young master's intention, he actually wanted to exchange these two for that day. "Magic potion, this. Why are you still standing there? Why don't you hurry up and get it for me?" Seeing Vodka standing still, Andrew immediately spoke angrily. Yes. I'll go right away." Vodka recovered from his daze and hurriedly walked into the room. 4th-level low-level heavenly spirit master, 3rd, 4th, I must be better than you. Get there first." Andrew snorted coldly, feeling secretly angry in his heart. As one of the heirs of the Bella family, the competition among the direct descendants of Andrew and his family is extremely fierce. Although the strength of the 4th-level low-level heavenly spirit master is not very outstanding outside, for Andrew and the others, their strength or weakness is not the main thing, but that you want to be ahead of the other direct descendants of the family in everything, and suppress them in everything. It is more important than anything else that your genius can be valued by the elders in the family. Today, Andrew is only 23 years old. This 4th-level spiritual master is a hurdle. Some spiritual masters will be stuck at this level for their whole lives, just like the one Jason tested his strength in the last level of the Spiritual Medicine Master Conference. Sanji, the palace guard of Dongxing Kingdom, has been stuck in the realm of the 3rd-level senior spiritual master for 13 years. If it weren't for Jason, he might have stayed there for the rest of his life. Although geniuses from big families like Andrew do not think they will be able to break through, it is a trivial matter to be stuck on this hurdle for 2 or 3 years, and it is normal for 3 to 5 years. But in this way, if other members of the family if a child breaks through, he will lag behind others step by step in the family. Just when Vodka came back to deliver the news and Andrew was preparing to bid, the young masters of the families stationed here in some big family mansions in the City of Chaos received the news quickly or slowly. A faint undercurrent slowly flows among the children of the big families in the entire City of Chaos in the Chaos City Trading Center. The crowd that had been excited because of the Tianling potion gradually calmed down, and everyone was busy with their own affairs. The entire trading center gradually returned to a calm state. No one paid much attention to the heavenly elixir that had been released. Only some bored people were still discussing in a sarcastic tone, preparing to come tomorrow. Look at that consignor joke. Most of the people here don't have much thought about this heavenly spirit potion. Only some spiritual masters who are in the advanced stage of the 3rd level are thinking about whether to find some materials and put them at the consignment office for exchange. Several other spiritual masters went directly to the service desk to submit materials. It's just that these spiritual masters are just members of some small families, and the materials they submitted are not very rare. When converted, they usually only cost hundreds of thousands or millions of spiritual coins. Only one of them is in the City of Chaos. He is also a descendant of a well-known family. The material he submitted was a dragon soul grass. The price in the territory of Chaos is about 1.5 million spiritual coins. But that's all. When they thought about it, the heavenly spirit potion was only worth this price at best. Although some adventurous spiritual masters are also very eager for the heavenly elixir, spending millions of spiritual coins to exchange for such a bottle of elixir that may not necessarily allow them to advance is simply not what adventurers like them can support. Started. And even if you successfully advance to the 4th level of low-level heavenly spirit master, and your own strength has been raised to a higher level, you may not be able to earn back the cost of millions of spiritual coins in the following days. Millions of spirit coins are an astronomical figure for most adventurers. Not only the members of these trading centers, but also Tyson and others, when Jason said that he would be the best bidder for Tianling potion in the entire trading center, they also didn't understand Jason's approach. When they wanted to come, although this Tianling potion is precious, it is far from being of this level. Moreover, the master came to this chaotic city to look for the cloud mist spirit fruit, so he could just post the purchase directly in this trading center. Is there any need to go to such trouble? Of all the people present, only Master Gandalf was thoughtful. In fact, Jason was quite helpless in making such a move. The heavenly spirit potion was only a 4th-order high-grade spiritual potion and was only effective for 3rd-order senior spiritual masters. It was far from comparable to the original 6th-grade high-grade spiritual potion. If Jason still has the Spirit Master potion on him, he can take it out directly and indicate that it will only be exchanged for the Cloud Mist Spirit Fruit. If any tribe here has the Cloud Mist Spirit Fruit, there is still a high possibility. Even though the effects of Tianling potion and Spirit Master potion are almost the same, they both allow spiritual masters to advance, but the gap is huge. A bottle of Spirit Master potion can completely promote a middle-class family to a big family. For example, the Kang's family. If he had a bottle of Spirit Master potion, Diaz would be able to unify the entire Santa Fe City after being promoted to the 6th-level Intermediate Master Spirit Master. From one of the 3 major families in Santa Fe City, he directly became the lord of a city, and became a force in the leader of chaos controlling a city. And for the Dax family to have such a bottle of spiritual master potion, it is even more incredible. Malga, who has reached the 6th level of senior spiritual master, can control several cities in the territory of chaos and become a Grand Duke. In the territory of chaos, their status is only a little lower than those of the families with 7th-level imperial spiritual masters. This is the effect of Lingzuan potion. It changes the fate of a big family. After the 6th level, it is extremely difficult to advance to each level. It is like a horizontal ditch blocking it. On both sides of the horizontal ditch, the identity of a family and status will be completely different. Even if the Spirit Master potion happens to be taken by a kingdom's #1 spiritual medicine master who is stuck in the level of spiritual consciousness, It can even change the status of a kingdom and promote that kingdom from a small kingdom to a big kingdom. This is not impossible. The heavenly spirit potion is much different. A low-level heavenly spiritist is not an indispensable key figure for a small family. In the adventure groups of the territory of chaos, low-level heavenly spiritists can be seen everywhere. Not uncommon. Reply to 232 fans on floor 3. However, despite this, Jason, who is well aware of the competition among the children of big families, is extremely confident in the materials that Tianling potion is about to shoot. After placing a bottle of diluted Tianling potion in the trading center for consignment, Jason started walking around casually in the trading center. As the center for all materials and treasures in the entire territory of chaos, the trading center of the city of chaos naturally has a large amount of strange materials. At the same time, there will also be many strange things. Most of these are what adventurers brought from the Cloud Swamp. The amount of materials found is far beyond what the Northwest countries can compare with. Since he came to this trading center, Jason naturally didn't want to leave empty-handed, so he immediately started browsing all the way. If we talk about the amount of cash and spirit coins on our body, even most of the big families in this chaotic city don't have as much as Jason has in his hands now. Jason spent more than 20 million of the 61 million he obtained from the auction of the Spirit Master potion at the trade fair of the Spiritual Medicine Master Conference. However, coupled with the 30 million he received from Diaz in Santa Fe City, at this moment Jason carries nearly 70 million spiritual coins on his body. Jason's wealth is comparable to the top family in a large kingdom like the Radigan family. In a short time, Jason bought some materials and items unique to the Cloud Swamp in this trading center. These materials are not particularly rare, but Jiao Lao can only be found in the Cloud Swamp. The territory of chaos naturally does not count. What, if you take it to the empire in the center of the continent, how can you? Barnyard is not cheap. As he walked around, Jason's nose suddenly smelled an extremely subtle smell of elixir. This smell was extremely light and seemed to be the smell of a powerful potion. A glimmer of light suddenly flashed across Jason's eyes. An ordinary elixir master would most likely smell the smell of a powerful potion, but Jason, a master of elixir techniques, sensed something unusual from it. He raised his head, and unknowingly, he had arrived at the public preparation area of the trading center. Not far in front of him, a 20-year-old boy was in front of a large experimental table, carefully preparing preparations. The magical potion was infused with a focused and meticulous expression. The potion rack next to him was filled with a large number of the same light blue elixir. It was roughly estimated that there were more than 200 bottles. This boy, after seeing the boy's appearance, Jason's face showed a look of extreme shock, as if he had seen some incredible monster. He quickly came to the medicine shelf next to the young man and looked at the elixirs on it. Gandalf and others also followed. With Gandalf's knowledge of elixirs, he could naturally see that the elixirs in front of him were just the most powerful ones. A powerful potion is actually an enhanced version of a basic potion. The meaning of a basic potion in elixir science is an elixir that cannot be graded. Just like the fire element basic liquid, it is not even the lowest level first-grade elixir. A powerful potion is between a basic potion and a first-order low-grade spiritual potion. It can barely be regarded as a first-order low-grade spiritual potion. Its main effect is to enable some people who are still at the spiritual power level, even the first-order low-level spiritual disciples. After taking it, the warriors who have reached the level will increase their physical strength and spiritual activity in the body, and increase the warrior's attack strength. In the territory of chaos, in addition to the battles between spiritual masters, the two forces will also send out a large number of soldiers to attack the city and plunder the territory, just like the two countries are marching to war. These ordinary soldiers are often not even low-level spiritual disciples. The Chinese website usually only has the strength of spiritual power level 5 to spiritual power 9. At this time, powerful potions come in handy. After taking this powerful potion, the combat effectiveness of these soldiers being able to at least double it is extremely important for winning a war. In every country on the continent, there is basically a team of elixirs that mass-produce powerful potions, which are used on the battlefield to be administered to soldiers when war breaks out. Therefore, powerful potions are also called war potions. Isn't it just some powerful potions? After seeing Jason's surprised look, Gandalf also used his spiritual sense to slightly perceive the powerful potions in front of him. Gandalf couldn't help but be stunned by this perception. The potency of the powerful potion in front of him actually reached a perfect 100%. Although it is just an ordinary powerful potion, the fusion of medicinal properties can reach a perfect 100%, but it is not something that ordinary elixirs can prepare casually. When Jason was just reborn, he prepared a bottle of extremely perfect fire element basic fluid, which directly caused Master Klein, a third-level low-level elixir master, to look at him with admiration and even use this bottle of fire element basic fluid. Obtained Master Bisfam's office. Gandalf's spiritual consciousness immediately passed over the next bottle of powerful Yun-Zero perfectly. Perfect. Still perfect, a storm surged through Gandalf's heart. It was not unusual for an alchemist to occasionally prepare a perfect bottle of powerful potion, but the 200 or so bottles of powerful potion in front of him all reached a perfect state of 100% medicinal fusion. But it made him extremely shocked. Even if he, a 5th-level low-level elixir master, spent minutes time studying the preparation of powerful medicines that were only 1st-level low-grade, and then asked him to prepare them, he would not be able to prepare powerful medicines that were all perfect. There will be more than 20% mistakes. This is not because he is not strong enough, but the reaction of the elixir involves many things. It is very simple to prepare it successfully, but it is not so easy to achieve the perfect fusion of medicinal properties. This cannot be tolerated. Mistakes. His eyes fell on the young man. Do you want to buy these powerful potions? I'm sorry, these powerful potions have already been reserved. If you want to buy spirits, you can go elsewhere. The young man happened to have finished preparing a bottle of powerful potions, and he took the bottle of powerful potions in his hand. The potion was placed on the potion shelf and he said in a voice. Gandalf's perception passed over the bottle of powerful potion, and the fusion of the potion was as perfect as ever. After the young man said indifferently, without even looking at Jason and the others, they picked up the materials on the experimental table again and prepared to prepare the next bottle of powerful potion. What's your name? Jason suddenly said. I've said before, if you want to buy powerful potions, please go elsewhere, and don't disturb my preparation, otherwise, I will call the staff of the trading center to come over. There was no trace of emotion in the young man's cold voice. Feelings. Jason smiled, then reached out and snatched the material from Archimedes' hand. What do you want to do? The young man shouted angrily, his cold eyes falling on the young man in front of him who looked several years younger than him. The Curie family is one of the 3 major families in the territory of chaos. It is also a family of elixirs and has a very high status in the territory of chaos. After countless years of operation, the Curie family naturally has many children in the family, and the competition within the family is also very fierce. And Archimedes is the weakest among his peers in the clan. 21 years old, a 3rd-level low-level spiritual master. In ordinary families, such strength may be quite astonishing, but as one of the 3 major families in the territory of chaos, the Curie family, Archimedes is weak. All this is because the meridians in Archimedes' body are too thin and can carry less spiritual power. Therefore, whether it is breakthrough or fighting, he is much weaker than ordinary people. But this is not the most serious thing. The Jitten family is a family of elixirs. All the children in the family must study elixirs and identify their talents in elixirs. If Archimedes had no achievements as a spiritual master, as long as he was highly talented in elixir science and eventually became a 5th-level elixir master, he would be able to live a privileged life in the family. But the twist of fate is that Archimedes has extremely strong literacy and control, but extremely low sensitivity. Based on current research on elixirs, a person like him will not be able to become a spiritual master, no matter how hard he works in this life. Master of elixirs. Since then, Archimedes' status in the family has become extremely low, and the family has almost given up on him as a child. Being looked down upon by others, looked down upon by his own clan, reprimanded by his parents, looked down upon by his peers in the clan, the only one who cared about him was his sister. However, although his sister had better qualifications than Archimedes, but it is only average, and the protection it can give him is really pitiful. Archimedes also wanted to be respected, praised, and had a warm home, but this is a competitive world, and this is a world where the strong are respected. He worked very hard, countless times harder than ordinary family members, forgetting to sleep and eat, practicing day and night. However, the growth of a spiritual medicine master requires the support of a large amount of materials, and also requires the guidance of people. The family's abandonment of him has made him extremely difficult in life, let alone purchasing the materials for preparing spiritual medicine. As for teaching, no elder in the family is willing to point out this useless person who is unlikely to achieve anything. But he did not give up. 3 years ago, he began to prepare the most low-level powerful potions in the public preparation area of the trading center. Powerful potion is the lowest level of spiritual potion. Its price is 10 spirit coins, while the cost of soap is 8 spirit coins. It was the price difference between these two spiritual coins that led Archimedes to embark on the path of making money by preparing powerful potions. He earned his first savings by working for the family and working for others, and he spent all of his savings on materials for formulating powerful potions. The first time he used 10 ingredients, he only succeeded in preparing 3 bottles, and lost 50 spiritual coins. He summarized all the mistakes, and then summarized and secretly competed in detail. The second time, with 10 ingredients, he succeeded. He got 5 bottles, and the third time he was 7 bottles late. After the fourth time, he stopped making mistakes. Since then, his life has finally stabilized. Daily preparation, he did not have a day off. Archimedes was extremely serious in his preparation. At the beginning, he could only prepare up to 30 bottles a day and earn 60 spiritual coins. As his strength improved, in the second year, he was able to prepare 50 bottles of powerful potions every day, and in the third year, he reached 150 bottles. So he began to pay attention to the materials and medicinal properties of powerful potions. This has been 6 years. In the past 6 years, he has grown into a third-level low-level spiritual master, and his spiritual medicine master has also become a second-level low-level spiritual medicine master. However, he has always prepared only one kind of spiritual medicine, a powerful medicine. Nowadays, he can prepare 350 bottles of powerful potions every day. After countless experiments, he has been able to control the cost of materials to 5 spiritual coins, and the fusion of the medicinal properties is a perfect 100% every time. However, all this did not improve his status in the family. Instead, it made him a shame to the Curie family and a laughingstock for everyone. He was a member of the Curie family who only prepared low-grade powerful potions every day. But it has to be said that the powerful potion he prepared is the most popular powerful potion in the entire city of Chaos, and his identity as a Curie family gives him great convenience, preventing him from being coerced and threatened by some forces. However, he ran into trouble today. A boy who looked 2 years younger than him, when he told him not to be disturbed, reached out to stop his preparation, and even gave him all the materials in his hand. Grabbed it. What do you want to do? Archimedes turned his head and looked coldly at the smiling young man in front of him. He was extremely angry when his preparation was interrupted. Although he didn't understand what the other party was going to do, Archimedes was not going to talk nonsense with these guys. He had already started to call the staff here. No one can act wild in the trading center, not to mention that as a member of the Curie family, he is not afraid of anything. Master Jace, Gandalf and the others were also stunned. They did not expect that Jason would actually look. Just when Archimedes was about to speak, a calm, seemingly magical voice suddenly sounded in Archimedes' ears. Hearing this steady voice full of confidence, Archimedes involuntarily closed his open mouth, and his eyes fell on the other person's hands. The next moment, his eyes widened. Archimedes was a very proud man, which can be seen from the fact that he never gave up and kept working hard after learning his destiny. He has always been very conceited, especially when it comes to the preparation of powerful potions. He has been preparing them every day for 6 years. The number of nearly 500,000 bottles of powerful potions in the past 6 years has made him extremely familiar with the process of powerful potions. A powerful potion can be prepared in 2 minutes. This is an extremely terrifying number. Under his changes, the cost of the powerful potion was reduced from 8 spiritual coins to a terrifying 5. The fusion of the potion was 100% perfect countless times without ever making a mistake, which gave him a reason. I firmly believe that even the elixir master who originally developed the powerful potion cannot compare with his achievements in this area. However, what happened in front of him shattered his pride instantly like glass hit by a giant hammer. Jason's movements were very slow and gentle, which was different from his usual technical approach. Looking at the materials in front of him, Jason's eyes were full of emotion, as if he was looking at his beloved lover. The moment he saw the young man's face, he recognized the young man's identity. His eyes were blurred, and his thoughts returned to that era 3,000 years later. In that year, he had just decided to embark on the path of a spiritual medicine master, working every day, struggling hard among the lowest elixirs, just like this boy. No, Jason's situation is much more desperate and miserable than the boy next to him. However, in his heart, there is a motivation to refuse to admit defeat. Part of this motivation comes from the young man beside him at the moment. This is what is recorded in the history books. Archimedes Curie, the most outstanding elixir master in the last 1,000 years of the spiritual history, a 9th-level elixir master. He was born into a prominent family in the southern part of the mainland. However, he suffered from small meridians since he was a child. He was ridiculed by the world for his lack of sensitivity in spiritual consciousness. However, he never gave up on his ideal of becoming a great elixir. Despite the lack of sensitivity in spiritual consciousness, he worked hard on the control of spiritual consciousness and stepped forward. A path that no one has ever taken before. He created a line of control elixirs, made great contributions to the perfection of elixirs, and became one of the most outstanding elixirs in the history of the development of elixirs. Back then, Jason was in. He had seen the spiritual portrait of Archimedes in many books on elixirs, and it had been deeply engraved in his mind since then. Jason's expression seemed to be lost in memories. His eyes were blurred and he never glanced at the materials in his hands. However, the movements in his hands never stopped. Each material is quickly decomposed in his hands, and then enters the preparation bottle in a smooth and orderly manner, full of artistic beauty. A moment later, a bottle of light blue elixir appeared on the experimental table, emitting a misty and magnificent light. 1 minute, only 1 minute. Archimedes murmured. The fusion of medicinal properties is extremely perfect. The materials used cost 3 spiritual coins. The previous preparation process, the spiritual literacy and control. Unexpectedly Archimedes looked dull. Seeing Jason's previous preparation, something extremely important seemed to flash in his mind. He wanted to capture it, but that thing was extremely confusing and he couldn't be sure. What on earth is it? What on earth is it? He frowned, but he couldn't catch it. Archimedes, what's wrong with you? Suddenly, a voice suddenly sounded in his ears, making him come back from your daze. A big man stood in front of his experimental table and looked at him with concern. Are you okay? I'm okay, I'm okay. Archimedes shook his head repeatedly, and then he realized that there was no one around him at this moment. The boy who made the preparation had long since disappeared. He hurriedly said, Uncle Noah, where are those guys from before? Those guys from before? They left long ago. I watched you over there and you were stunned here, so come and take a look. Noah's brows frowned deeply. Gone? Which way did you go? Chinese website Archimedes said anxiously. Over there. Noah pointed at the door of the trading center. Archimedes rushed out in a hurry. A moment later, Archimedes came back alone, his face full of frustration. Those guys didn't do anything to you before, right? Noah asked with concern. No, I'm fine, Uncle Noah. Archimedes said, the disappointment in his tone was palpable. He lowered his head and found a bottle of red elixir on the experimental table. Under the elixir, there was a piece of white paper with something written on it. He quickly pulled out the white paper and read it in a hurry. Is this true? After seeing the content on the white paper, a flash of excitement flashed through Archimedes' eyes, and then his whole face was filled with flushes, and his hands holding the white paper were slightly tremble. Archimedes, are you okay? Noah frowned again. Being very familiar with Archimedes, he noticed that something was wrong with him today. Oh, I'm fine. Archimedes said, but his slightly trembling tone revealed the excitement in his heart. Uncle Noah, help me put away these powerful potions. I have something to ask for. Let's go back first. Before Noah could say anything else, Archimedes picked up the bottle of red elixir on the table and rushed out of the trading center. This kid, it's really weird today. No matter what kind of food he encountered in the past, he would never leave early before preparing a certain amount. Noah shook his head and started to pack up the materials on Archimedes' experimental table. Come with those powerful potions that have been prepared. Like a ball of wind, Archimedes quickly rushed through several streets, came to a large and extremely luxurious mansion in the city of chaos, and then hurried in. Why is Archimedes so crazy today? Seeing Archimedes' hurried expression, a guard at the door couldn't help but whisper. Third brother, please pay attention. Archimedes is still a young man in the family, and we are not allowed to comment casually. Another guard at the door scolded in a low voice. Young master? The guard laughed disdainfully. You are already 21 years old, and now you are a third-level low-level spiritual master. He is still preparing the most low-level powerful potions in the trading center every day. It has brought shame to our family. It's over. Is there any family in the entire city of chaos who doesn't know that our Curie family has produced such a top-notch guy? Well, forget about his poor talent and show up. But after saying this, the guard remained silent. Well, if any adult in the family hears this kind of casual comment about a direct descendant of the family, this little guard, like him, will be in bad luck. Archimedes went to a remote courtyard on the left side of the mansion, took out the large wooden bucket for his winter bath, filled it with cold water, and added a drop of the bottle of red elixir. In the barrel. Can this bodybuilding spirit liquid really change and widen my naturally small meridians as stated on this white paper? Archimedes murmured, took off his clothes and got into the barrel, then closed his eyes and followed the instructions. The words written on the white paper activated the third-level low-level spiritual power in his body. Suddenly, Archimedes, who had been sitting quietly in the barrel, twitched all over, frowned, and the corners of his mouth pulled out a sharp arc. There were bursts of squeaking sounds from clenched teeth, and large beads of sweat instantly covered his forehead. However, he remained silent and continued to practice with his eyes closed. The sky gradually became dark, and he didn't know how to pass it. How long? Hello, 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Archimedes let out a long breath. He slowly opened his eyes, walked out of the barrel, wiped his body with a towel, and felt a wave of pain in his body. Cool and comfortable. Archimedes looked inside his own meridians. I was stunned. Immediately, I flushed with excitement, my body started to tremble, and the muscles on my face seemed to be cramped, and then tears flowed down uncontrollably. Archimedes was so excited that he couldn't help himself. From childhood to adulthood, for more than 20 years, a person who has been at the bottom has been humiliated. But now he feels that his destiny has completely changed from now on. Feeling the obviously enlarged meridians in his body, tears streamed down Archimedes' face, but he was extremely grateful to the young man he met in the afternoon. In fact, Archimedes' qualifications are definitely among geniuses. If it weren't for the naturally weak meridians, his achievements would be absolutely limitless. After all, Archimedes in history did not have Jason's level. He finally achieved the 9th level spirit. Medicine Saint Master. This shows that his qualifications include broccoli, bolluol leaf grass, fierce tiger beast king spirit core, Tianqin emperor fruit. Merjamid slowly recited the formula of the bodybuilding spiritual liquid on the white paper. He didn't understand why the young man he didn't know at all helped him so much. Moreover, the young man's accomplishments in elixirs in the afternoon made Archimedes extremely respectful. The technique of mastering gave Archimedes a feeling of enlightenment. Pung. He knelt down heavily and bowed deeply to the unknown place in the sky. I finally don't have to be looked down upon by others, I finally don't have to be ridiculed and insulted by my family, I can finally stand up straight, and more importantly, I can finally learn from the elixir I love. I don't know who you are, and I don't know why you helped me, but you are my Archimedes benefactor. I will definitely find you again and repay you for recreating me. Thank you for your kindness. Alimide secretly swore in his heart. Jason, who had returned to the Kang's family mansion, naturally had no idea that his help to Archimedes would actually have such an impact on Archimedes' heart. This year in the City of Chaos was undoubtedly a turbulent year. When many residents of the City of Chaos recalled this year many years later, their voices were still full of excitement. This starts with a bottle of elixir. It was a bottle of spiritual potion called Tianling potion. It was just a 4th level high-grade spiritual potion. Logically speaking, it was not enough to attract the attention of the people in the entire City of Chaos. However, the consignor of this bottle of spiritual potion directly spent $5. 100,000 became the sub-bidding king in the trading center, and the consignment requirement was only in exchange for rare materials. This move was collectively despised and ridiculed by everyone in the trading center of the City of Chaos. No one was optimistic about the consignment of this heavenly elixir, and they were all waiting to see the consignor's joke the next day. The next day, the bottle of Tianling potion was finally consigned by the consignor, but what was obtained was beyond everyone's surprise. Phoenix jade and blood spirit crystal, these two rare materials worth tens of millions in total, are extremely rare even in the territory of chaos, but they were exchanged by Andrew, a boy from the Bella family, for this bottle of heavenly spirit potion. This transaction immediately caused huge waves in the City of Chaos. Master Andrew is a direct descendant of the Bella family, the 3 major families in the territory of chaos. He has always appeared in front of everyone in the City of Chaos with a wise and intelligent face. However, this transaction made him the laughingstock of all the people in the entire chaotic city. Using rare materials worth tens of millions to exchange for a bottle of 4th level high-grade elixir, and this bottle of elixir may not necessarily allow people to successfully advance to the next level. In the minds of these people, only people with convulsions can do such a thing. However, those who laughed even more happily were the young masters who were also descendants of big families like Andrew. Naturally, the senior members of the Bella family knew about such a sensational incident. Just when everyone thought that she, the top executive of the Bella family, would reprimand Andrew and that Andrew would fall out of favor in the Bella family, a shocking news came out from the Bella family. Instead of criticizing Andrew, the Bella family, and even let Andrew, a 23-year-old boy, take charge of part of the Bella family's properties in the City of Chaos. As soon as this news came out, everyone who was waiting to see Andrew's joke was dumbfounded. Just when they had no idea what was going on, word came from within the Bella family that Andrew was filming the second scene of the Tianling potion. Tian, who was promoted from the 3rd level high-level spiritual master world to the 4th level low-level heavenly spiritual master, became one of the few direct descendants of the Bella family who advanced to the 4th level heavenly spiritual master before the age of 25. Andrew's keen vision and the courage to his hard-working character immediately won the admiration of senior members of the Bella family. A family's progress is like sailing against the current. If it doesn't advance, it will retreat. As one of the 3 major families that have stood in the territory of chaos for thousands of years, the Bella family attaches great importance to the vision and character of its disciples. A child of a family who acts steadily, is cautious in everything, and strives to make no mistakes can certainly maintain a family, but this kind of character that does not dare to work hard will also make the family think in a self-contained way. In the territory of chaos, a place that is extremely chaotic and constantly improving, gradually being eliminated, such a big family needs members like Andrew who dare to fight. Such a piece of news immediately made some people understand the importance of this heavenly elixir among the children of the big family. Some of the children of the big family who had originally laughed at Andrew and whose strength had reached the level of a 3rd level senior spiritual master on the Chinese website were all lustful at this time. I cried without tears. If he was the one who took the picture of the heavenly elixir, then I am afraid that he should be the man of the hour in the city of chaos at the moment. Just when all the other members of the big family were extremely frustrated and disappointed, news came out from the trading center. Another bottle of Tianling potion appeared at the consignment office of the trading center. The rules were the same as last time, except that they were changed. Materials, but time has become uncertain. As long as the other party takes a fancy to the materials submitted by someone, the transaction will be successful. This time, the other party did not spend money to be the king of bidding, but the sensation caused was countless times greater than the time when he was the king of bidding. In a short period of time, the trading center was quickly occupied by a large number of family members. Everyone rushed to the service desk with materials. For a time, the entire trading center was crowded and crowded. Because the other party's rule is that as long as they like the materials submitted by someone, the transaction will be successful. Therefore, the bidder who submits the materials earlier will be able to take advantage and the transaction will be more likely to be successful. A group of children from big families, all unwilling to give in to each other, surrounded the service desk. Unwilling to be outdone, they surrounded the entire service desk. The scene was lively and extremely intense. Fortunately, due to the rules of the City of Chaos, although the children of these big families were very angry, no one dared to take action. The transaction ended quickly. The other party confirmed the transaction materials through the spiritual power-sharing terminal of the trading center, but did not appear at the service desk of the trading center. This time, the lucky one is Diga, a direct descendant of the Beiyuan family in the territory of chaos. The Beiyuan family is one of the 10 strongest families in the territory of chaos. The competition within the clan is also extremely fierce, and Diga has been stuck before. It has been nearly 3 years since he reached the level of a 3rd level senior spiritual master, but he has not been able to break through. His status, which was originally highly regarded in the family, has suddenly dropped in the past 3 years. What he traded was rare materials worth 15 million. In fact, although the Beiyuan family is huge and Tiga is also a direct core child of the Beiyuan family, 15 million is not a small number after all, comparable to all the property of the small family belongs to him. He spent all his savings and borrowed some from the elders of the clan to get these materials together. This transaction was a desperate decision for him. Now he is 25 years old. If he has not broken through to the 4th level low-level heavenly spirit master this year, then his status in the family will plummet and he will be completely buried in the world. Among the large number of clan members, he is no longer conspicuous. In the large jaw of chaos family, by default, whether a child has been promoted to a low-level heavenly spirit master at the age of 25 is used to determine whether he has talent, whether he can be valued by the family, and whether he can be cultivated by the family's large resources. After all the family members who had not been auctioned learned that the Tianling potion had been photographed by Diga from the Beiyuan family, they left the trading center cursing. At the same time, they secretly cursed in their hearts that Andrew's promotion must be a coincidence, and that Diga would fail the promotion. However, the news from the Beiyuan family the next day broke the illusions of these teenagers, and once again caused a sensation in the City of Chaos. The day after obtaining the Tianling potion, they were stuck in the third-level advanced spirit. Tiga, who had been in the Master Realm for 3 years, was promoted overnight. While many of the disciples of the big families who were not in the City of Chaos and had received the news later were sighing, the next day, a total of 5 bottles of Tianling potion appeared at the consignment office of the trading center, and it was stated that these 5 bottles were the last ones. After the consignment of the 5 bottles of Tianling potion ends, there will no longer be consignment of Tianling potion, and the consignment rules are the same as the second time. All the disciples of the big families in the territory of chaos who got the news but were stuck in the realm of third-order senior spiritual masters suddenly went crazy. Even some of the disciples who had not reached the realm of third-order senior spiritual masters rushed into the City of Chaos one after another. Trading center, they are planning for their future. With a bottle of this heavenly spirit potion, they can ensure that once they are stuck in the third-level advanced realm in the future, they will have the hope and guarantee of a breakthrough. The first bottle of elixir among these 5 bottles was photographed by a direct member of the Perret family, one of the 3 major families, who spent nearly 15 million on rare materials. He is 19 years old this year, but he has already reached as a third-level intermediate spiritual master. Buying this heavenly spirit potion can only give you more protection in the future. Next, in rounds of crazy bidding, bottles of Luotianling potion were auctioned off one by one. Each bottle was worth about 15 million, and the last bottle was used for nearly 2 years. Tens of millions of materials were taken away. The news came back the next day that among the purchasers of these 5 bottles of Tianling potion, 3 third-level high-level Lingi, all of them had successfully been promoted to 4th-level low-level Tianling masters overnight. Just as the consignor described, as long as you reach the peak of the 3rd-level senior spiritual master, and with sufficient spiritual energy in Ziyunii, the probability of advancing to the 4th-level low-level heavenly spiritual master is 80%. After taking the 7 bottles of heavenly spirit potion, the 5 third-level senior spiritual master purchasers were all promoted. When these performance parameters were announced, it caused an uproar in the entire City of Chaos and even the territory of Chaos. The big families began to pay attention to the consignor of this magical potion. This magical potion had never appeared in the territory of Chaos before. Anyone with a discerning eye could tell at a glance that these 7 bottles of magical potion came from the same spiritual pharmacist. It would be better if a small family accidentally obtained it and then sold it on consignment, but if a spiritual pharmacist prepared it himself, such a superb spiritual pharmacist would immediately become the coveted meat of many forces. If he could recruit him, how could he? Doesn't this mean that there will be an endless supply of top-quality elixirs? After all, an elixir master cannot only prepare one kind of elixir. Some families are even imagining that if their family really recruits this elixir master, wouldn't the children of their own family be higher than other families in terms of overall level? Maybe the gap between the 3rd-level high-level spiritual master and the 4th-level low-level heavenly spiritual master is not big at the beginning, but what kind of advantage will this bring from generation to generation? Although the trading center is participated by all the forces in the entire Chaos territory, and is jointly managed by the top 10 major families to restrain each other to show fairness, the top families can still find some ways. But what makes them helpless is that in order to show fairness, all the staff of the trading center were listed by the real names of several major families, but were randomly scattered numbers. The staff who did not have their respective responsibilities did not know each other. He was also extremely careful when going up to the other party, which actually left these big families with nothing to say. The major forces in the entire chaotic city are intertwined, and everyone has concerns. At night, in the king's family mansion, Jason was carefully classifying a large pile of materials on the table in front of him. This time's harvest, even if he had prepared it in advance, was still far beyond his expectation. The average value of the materials exchanged for each of the 7 bottles of Tianling potion is more than 15 million spirit coins, and the 7 bottles of Tianling potion are worth 100 million. Each of the dozens of materials in front of me is no better than a dream. Glass stems are rare at this level. The bottle of ultimate potion prepared by Jason can be diluted into a total of 10 bottles of Tianling potion. He took 2 bottles himself and gave 1 to Nades. The remaining 7 bottles have all been sent and sold by him. Although he still has 2 dream glass stems on his body and can still make a lot of heavenly spirit potions, Jason is no longer prepared to do so. The purpose of consigning the heavenly spirit potion is just to exchange for materials to prepare a spiritual potion that is equivalent to the cloud spirit fruit. Now there are some such rare materials. Although there are no heaven-defying existences like Taisui wood and ice spirit holy fruit, some of them or both of them have reached the level of violent spirit fruit. As long as the combination is reasonable, it is enough for Jason to prepare some powerful spiritual potions. Zifei, and after the auction of these 7 bottles of heavenly spirit potions, the entire city of chaos truly has status. There are almost enough children from big families who can get rare materials, and if they continue to be auctioned, they won't be able to exchange for anything rare. More importantly, the auction of the Tianling potion has attracted the attention of many major forces in the City of Chaos, and many people have begun secret investigations in the City of Chaos. While Jason was sorting it out carefully, Patriarch Tyson and Master Gandalf stood stupidly opposite Jason, with dull faces. "Oh, my spirit god, this is the phoenix jade, which comes from the deepest part of the cloud swamp." Gandalf's face was flushed, and his old face, which looked like dried orange peel, was slightly twisted and twitching, and his mouth was extremely fast. He said, "This is the blood spirit crystal, and the whole crystal is transparent and red. Oh my god, it is the best of the best. Ah. Whale grain incense wood with 10 lines. Oh my god, an illusion, this must be an illusion." Gandalf's eyes shone like a bloodthirsty beast that smelled blood, and his face showed an extremely fanatical light. He has been in this realm of chaos for countless years. With his strength as a 5th-level low-level elixir master, this is the first time he has seen these priceless rare materials. In the past, every one of them, as Gandalf, he also needs to search hard, but in front of Lord Jace Gandalf only needs to think that Jace only spent millions of spiritual coins to prepare a few bottles of 4th-grade high-quality heavenly spirit potions in exchange for so many materials. There was a violent twitching in my heart. This was a material worth hundreds of millions, and the raw materials in exchange were only millions of spiritual coins. Such a strong contrast made Gandalf's eyes red with excitement. Patriarch Tyson was even more primitive. Although he didn't know the value of each of the materials in front of him, when he changed his appearance with Jason's help and went to the trading center to get the materials, the trading center, that extremely hot scene shocked him extremely. He will never forget the scene of those young people frantically taking materials to the service desk to bid. You must know that each of these young people's families is several times larger than his Kongsi family. Compared with super powerful forces such as the Perret family, Bella family, and Baihara family, the Kang's family is like the gap between an ant and an elephant. They can easily crush him. However, the direct descendants of these families, but they rushed into the trading center crazily, just to bid for the owner's bottle of elixir. Even when Tyson walked out of the trading center, he felt a lot of peeping eyes from the dark eyes. Fortunately, Jason changed his face before he came out. In addition, he had the strength of a 6th-level low-level spiritual master, and after some hard work, they finally got rid of these people. The whole process made Tyson extremely frightened. The forces that can find traces of the consignor in a place like the City of Chaos Trading Center and keep up with him are definitely not something that his small Kongsi family can fight against. There was one person in the room, Renaud, expressionless, standing aside quietly, his face never changed. Suddenly, a dazzling golden light burst out from Renaud's eyes, and a cold murderous intention rose up in his body. Jason immediately raised his head, but Tyson and Gandalf had a trace of confusion on their faces. Someone has sneaked in. Renaud's cold voice drifted through the room, full of murderous intent.